Hi everyone, happy Wednesday, happy Canada Day. I hope that you are able to enjoy some time with your family today and just enjoy the outdoors. I think it's supposed to be a really beautiful day, and it's exciting just to have a day off of hopefully even working from home if that's what you've been doing or whatnot. So I hope that you'll just be able to enjoy the time with your family. And I've recently been doing a Bible study on Psalm 23. It's from Jennifer Rothschild. And I've never actually done a study on Psalm 23, so this is very exciting. And it's been so eye-opening just to even study each verse. Every week we do a different verse, so last week was verse 3. And verse 3 is, "He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake." And so we went through that and we talked about what it looks like, what restoration looks like, and who does the restoring, and who does the leading or the guiding in the paths of righteousness, and the purpose of that for his name's sake. But there was one thing that just caught my eye. So in our homework, it was talking about paths and talking about like what is classified as a path. And so she just asks some questions like, what is a path? What makes a path? What classifies as a path in your life, or things like this? She's just asking questions just to get your brain moving and thinking. And when she asked, what makes a path? My brain just like paused on that for a second, and I was just trying to think, what makes a path? And I thought very practically. I was like, a path, okay. If I'm thinking either a path in the forest or a path in grass or whatever, I was thinking like a path is somewhere that's cleared, that's safe to walk, that has been traveled before. So there have been like someone who has obviously gone before you to maybe make the path, or it's just been traveled enough time. I think of like a grass field, a grass pasture, and if you travel over a certain portion of grass enough times, it's going to create a path. And so I was just thinking about how we can relate this to our Christian walks, and how like we're traveling through paths, and he leads us through paths. It's the Lord that does the leading, and he leads us through these paths, and it's paths that maybe we've never traveled, but that someone else has traveled. And it's just encouraging to know that whatever path we're being led on, we're not being led on alone. Like someone else has traveled on it before us, and also that we are being led through or guided through a path with the Lord. Like we never travel anything alone. And I think especially during this COVID time, I don't know what everyone's living situation is like, but you could live with a lot of people and you could really not be enjoying that, or you could live with people and really be enjoying it, or you could live on your own and it could be really challenging not being able to see your regular normal types of groups of people or whatnot. And I think this is seemingly a lot of unwalked on territory, and I think it's encouraging to know that we are walking on paths that have been walked on before. And I think that it's important to recognize that the Lord is with us, and that we can still trust him through this, because we're doing all of this for his name's sake, and he'd never make us go through something if it wasn't going to bring glory to him, or if he wasn't going to like take responsibility for what was happening. But I was also thinking about in Hebrews 4, verses 14 to 16, it says, "Since then we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens, Jesus, the Son of God. Let us hold fast to our confession. For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weakness, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." And I just think that reminds me of the idea of not walking through something alone, because he has been tempted in every way. He's gone on the same sort of journeys and sort of paths that we've been through, and he is able to sympathize with us in our weaknesses. And so I just think that it's beautiful, like when it says, "Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in time of need." Like we can do that boldly, knowing that he's going to be faithful to respond and faithful to be with us and to encourage and give whatever it is that we need during those times and during those paths that we're walking on, whether they're paths that are good paths or paths that are difficult, whatever it is, we know that they're paths of righteousness, and we're on those paths for his name's sake. And so I just think it's really cool to even just go through this very well-known psalm and just learn and glean new things about him, and just truths that we can learn. And so I hope that everyone is just encouraged by this today, knowing that whatever path you're on, it's a path of righteousness for his name's sake if he's guiding you, and being willing to surrender and be obedient to his guidance is definitely a game changer in this world, especially in a time that seems so misguided and everything just seems like it changes every single day. But we know that we serve a God who is so faithful and who loves us so dearly, and he cares for us in every single way possible, and he just loves us, and he wants his goodness and his kindness to just be poured out onto us every day. We just have to be responsible in trusting him, being patient, and following in obedience. And so I hope today that you'll be encouraged. I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy Canada Day again. And I hope that we can go forth just trusting and knowing that God is good and he loves us and he is faithful. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.